Ergo Day is important because this is where the rubber meets the road. The upfront ergonomics teams and the engineering teams design out almost 85 to 100% of the ergo issues that they see upstream. However, when the parts come to the assembly line, when there is a stack up of parts and parts coming together, this is where there may be ergo issues that we may not have been able to figure out.
So what's most important for me about Ergo Day is how can I really serve my customer, which is Darren and his partners and team members that are also working on the line, if I haven't walked a mile in their shoes, right? How can I properly help design the future tooling? How can I properly help work with my product development counterparts to design the right parts for the operators to build online if I haven't experienced firsthand what it is they go through every single day?
This is how we can improve for future programs, future projects, and do better, right? Improve the quality. We start back in the designing of our tools, of our process.
Ergo Day is important to me because it flips the script from our daily routine. We get to focus and look through the point of view of an operator instead of just handling our issues in a manufacturing sense.
Working together with the UAW and Ford for Ergo Day, it fosters joint cooperation. It fosters empathy. It opens a door for communication because when that operator see that engineer moving throughout the plant or moving around the shop floor, they can stop them and say, hey, John, hey, Mark, these are some of the things that I'm experiencing on my job. What do you think about this or what do you think about that?
Ergo Day is extremely important to the UAW because this is our opportunity to work with management directly and give them the opportunity to see the jobs that they affect and how they affect our operators. So I think it's crucial that they understand that when you're designing parts, creating jobs, how it affects the operators, which at the end of the day affects our FTOVs, our injuries, our quality. All of this stuff is affected by how these operators are able to put these parts on the trucks.
What I would like the engineers to know and to learn about my job is how sometimes putting the weather strip on can be painful on your hands. Also, to try to find a different technique of putting it on where it won't be so painful on us, on the hands and the shoulder.
Ergo Day is important to me because it can finally show how hard my job is. Like putting on the drain tubes, it can be very hard putting it in and bad for your hands. Putting on the stubs, again, putting on the stub, it can be very hard for your thumb, especially because you got to put it on top of a nail.
With certain things that on the job that's very specific, like the turning of the lock or the carpet, how the carpet has to be laid to actually get the console to be inserted. To make it easier, what will help us to make it easier. And the only way to do that is for them to actually be hands-on.
Here's what I've really been having on my job that me and Josh talked about with the donuts that go on the gasket. Sometimes I have a hard time fitting them in, but they'll get that taken care of pretty soon. Or hopefully things get worked out, and anything I need done in the future, Josh said they will be here to help, and it's greatly appreciated.
We have a really strong, robust upfront process. We've seen an 85% reduction in the number of ergonomics issues we see at launch as a result of it, and this has cascaded to a 70% reduction in ergonomics claims on our plant floor. But despite these great improvements, there is still an investment that needs to be made to get ergonomics baked into the design process.
It's good to see the operator's perspective and what we can do to improve our parts for the next F-150. We must understand the handling of parts, the impact of the vehicle assembly process.
The operators come in every day, day in and day out. They strap up, start up at 6 o'clock, and they go to 4:30, sometimes 5 o'clock every single day. And in that time, they're pushing, pulling, moving, and they're doing each one of these operations 200 or 300 times, or 600 times in some cases. And it's good to see that the engineers can come in and kind of experience that.
I had that feeling, okay, I know this job, I will kill it, but actually it's not. I really respect my operator, like how he's spending like 10 hours for this job. I already have my solar
now I will understand better how an operator and the job feels to do when it's coming to this station.
It's a very strenuous job. So put it that way. There's also, you have to do 5 or 6 different variants on the trucks. So you have to keep watching the monitor and make sure you're installing the right parts on the vehicle. So it's definitely more complicated than other jobs I've seen.
We're shy of 5 hours into this shift. I'm already a little bit tired, getting a little bit sore. And they do this day in, day out, 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. every single day. They're the experts on these jobs. So I've already learned a whole bunch of opportunities that we're gonna be able to take back, not only for Darren's job on station 48 on the engine line, but also for other jobs, the principles that we can take away to make the jobs more efficient, easier on the body, easier on the mind, and more friendly for our operators to complete, the better we're gonna be for our end customer.
Standing up for as many hours as I did, I can already feel pressure in my back. So obviously, I'm an engineer, I sit a lot. Just standing alone, doing nothing, takes its toll on the body, let alone all of the other things that I have to do. Walking back and forth, moving my body. So I see how that impacts the operator.
That the people are amazing, so they have a lot of patience with me, Lucretia. She goes, she looks and say, hey, you missed this one. And she told, I'm just telling you for you to learn. I'm not picking on you. I said, no, please, I want to learn your job. And I hope I can make it by the end of the day because it's tough. But I'm really enjoy that. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
I've learned a lot from this experience, but mainly just that, there are people at the end of this process, and we need to think about them first. It's not just about our GMRs or requirements, it's about the person on the line, and I think we can do a better job of putting them first.